Hello and welcome back to our Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky 1 playthrough. In our last episode we had an interview with General Morgan out at the Harken Gate. He told us that a gang of sky pirates called the Capua family may have been involved in the disappearance. They certainly asked for a big enough ransom from the royal family for the safe return of the airship and its passengers. Then he found out we were braces and threw us out, as you do. We then came back to Bose after meeting up with a spoony bard who seems to have a thing for Joshua. We reported to the mayor, met up with that reporter and his photographer, and helped the reporter create a new story, basically. So yeah, the one clue he was able to give us in his drunken haze was about someone reporting a giant shadow over a village to the west. That the army has already checked out and essentially immediately said, no, there's nothing to see here, please move along, sir. So we're going to have a little inspection ourselves. Leela says Miss Maybell is the type of person who thrives the busier she is. She's just like her father in that respect. But I'm worried about her health. Alright. Now, we need to buy stuff. We need to buy stuff. You sell movies, you sell books. It's not you, is it? No, it is. Right, I'll take the knives for Joshua. Pole range isn't a big deal for Estelle. The paring knives, don't we? Used by pro chefs and sometimes in domestic disputes. Okay, as you do. Prevents sleep and poison. I'm going to put on the work helmet. Going to put the silver earring, white bracelet, and the silver earring on Scheherazade. Don't need earth-based, so right, the lady with the books, now that we can afford them. Just because I have no idea what they're used for. It's a fictional novel published in Le Beau. Okay. Wonder where we failed that one. Escort request. From a bloke called Hart. For 1,000 monies, high difficulty, I'm searching for someone who can escort me to the Crone Pass checkpoint. Please see me at the Frieden Hotel ASAP. It's a short-term one. New Ansel Path Monster. A Braces Guild thing. Full 1500 mirror, medium difficulty. A ferocious monster known as an amber turtle has been spotted roving the New Ansel Path. Braces from this branch are requested to deal with this threat immediately. Yoo-hoo. Not Edward. Where are you? Not Edward. You good? No? Well, we may as well try to do this. Escort quest. Estelle says, pardon us, but are you Mr. Hart? Hart says, huh? Did you by chance see my request on the bulletin board? Estelle nods, yep, that's right. Oh, Hart says, oh, you finally came, huh? I've been waiting around here forever. I need to get to Rouen ASAP, so I'm looking for an escort to take me to the Crone Pass. What do you say? Do you think you can handle that? Estelle says, yeah, sure. Hart says, boy, am I glad to hear that. You guys are like saviors. I hear the mountain trail has a lot of monsters, so I'm too scared to walk it alone. Estelle asks, but what are you going to do after you reach the checkpoint? Hart says, I've got the guild taking care of that too. I've got a bracer from the Rouen branch coming to meet me there. Estelle says, I see. Joshua asks, so what should we do now? Is everyone ready to go? Scheherazade says, no, I think we should meet up somewhere else later. We need to prepare for the trip. Hart says, that's fine by me. I'll be waiting at the west gate, so once you're ready to go, please come and find me. Joshua says, let's see, the west gate, huh? So you mean by the mayor's residence? Scheherazade says, okay then, let's get to work, shall we? Estelle nods, roger that. And yes, before I forget, we should actually go and get some more Phoenix down. No, it's not you, is it him? To the west, that's east. Oh, it's a good day today. Not Edward, are you around anywhere? Okay. Hart asks, are you ready to go? Yep, we're good to go, says Estelle. Hart says, great, I'm ready myself. Alright then, I'll leave the rest up to you. Scheherazade says, the Crone Pass is to the west of here. It's pretty far, so let's not get careless along the way. Joshua nods. Understood. Estelle says, let's get going, shall we? And we're out on the West Beausset Highway. East Beausset. West Revenue Village, 287 yards. Crone Pass, 441 yards. So we have to go past. We can do water and fire. We can do fire. You can do fire. You can do water. And he can wander around aimlessly.
Seems you came up short.
2 monster carapaces. That's right. The Royal Mandragorai. You need water. Fortunately, Estelle has water.
Oh, are we done already?
And a flaky potato. And 2 monster carapaces. Okay. Oh, what are you? You are a rock pecker. An avian monster can knock you senseless in a single attack. Only goes after males. Only goes after males. Whoops. Okay. Weak to fire. Can drop a bird egg. Well, we'll see to you. And we'll heal you. The rock picker has wandered off. Okay. Let's see what Sylphin does. Yeah. Very nice, very nice.
Alright, we're good to go.
Monster carapace again. And naturally I turn myself around. Ooh, a chest. Yeah, we know about chests. Oh, we found a reviving bar. That's handy. The chest is empty. So very empty. Bleed on crab and firebolt on the crab.
Oh, are we done already?
Bird egg, and a potato, and a carapace. We got many things. Really? You didn't have to regen all that HP. Ow. Tier 4. Joshua? Well, they really do only go after males, don't they?
Seems you came up short.
2 bird eggs. 2 bird eggs. Items. Potatoes and onions aren't typically green, except when they're highly poisonous. Oh well. Okay, we need to take you this way, don't we, sir? I am finding it a little bit weird how we keep getting all those, not all, but those bracer requests to go to places before we go to them in the story, and then have their timer run out before we actually get to them in the story. So yeah, it just seems a bit weird for me, to me. And these are called boiled egg-Gs. Okay, a soft-bodied monster in a shell that attacks with wind-based arts, explodes when defeated, but is weak to fire. Now I'm just going to remove Estelle over here, and let the ones who deal fire damage deal fire damage. Boom!
Oh, are we done already?
We got a gummy eyeball. Lucky us. There's another one. Oh, two. How about we just limit break them, shall we?
Someone's been naughty.
Oh, come on. We can hit harder than that.
Here I come.
No, don't use hearts. Ow. Ow, nasty thing. Yes, that was the wrong thing to do. Ow.
That's that then. Let's move out.
It's nice for Estelle to occasionally get something that she can do besides heal with her magic. And yes, I did just ask them to both Bright. Oh, come on! Come on!
Piece of cake.
Potato and a carapace. Yay! Yay! Oh, look at you. Well, don't you look fun. A large monster is prowling around. We shall have to exterminate. It is a thunderquake. A monster not native to the Bose region that emits a blinding shock. It is weak to fire and earth. And it has... wow. Oh, no kidding. Weak to fire and earth, yes. No, don't keep doing... oh, you're just going to spam this, aren't you?
Not now.
Yes, you are. Probably should have waited until I got this bloke to the, yeah. Oh, of course he misses. No!
Not now.
The one time he needs to not miss. And he misses. How cruel. Come on, we can do this. You can just use anything other than that. And yes, I realise that that probably is your only move. on, Estelle. Come on, Estelle. Oh, come on. Be late and Hewitt, come on. There we go. We got him. We got 30 EXP for it. And we exterminated the monster on East Bose Highway. Yes! Don't have enough flour. Yeah, we're not going to have enough magic, are we? Sorry, I realise, sir, that we're taking you back the way that you came, but we need a refresh. That wasn't nice. How could you think that was nice?
That's that then. Let's move out.
That's what I get for not looking.
Seems you came up short.
Yeah, sorry. No. Right. Yeah. We need to buy More of them. Sell some of them. Still can't get any fires. Oh well. Where's the... No, not you. Not you. You. Sorry. Need to rest. It's expensive to stay in the big city. Anyway. You, let's go. Try to avoid battle up until we get to the pass itself. And you watch me just blunder straight into something. Like that. Like that. Why not?
Oh, are we done already?
Okay. Are we there? We might be there. We got to the trail. Yay! You look different. Boiled egger R. A soft-boiled monster in a shell uses fire-based arts. Explodes when defeated. Weak to water. Which makes Estelle useful. 415 damage. HP. Damage. Oh. That was not very nice of you.
Good to go.
Two of you, really? Okay, no, that's fine, that's fine. Missed. How do you miss? a wobbly jobbly egg. Ow. Let me just move away. Well, it is useful that our escort recovers his HP after each battle. Ow. Not cool. Close.
We're good to go.
Close. We got some olive oil out of an egg. Oh, don't you look lovely. Queen Scorpion, weak to air. Ow! Naughty Queen Scorpion.
Seems you came up short. Seems you came up short.
Oh, we've had a tear balm. The chest has been cleared out. Villainous! Are you sure you're being met by someone here, sir? 3 eggs. Because why not?
Let's do this!
Someone's been naughty.
Yay! We got one. Ow. It was rather rude concentrating on Scheherazade like that. I wish we had someone else who could use water. Ow! Kindly stop targeting the client.
Piece of cake.
Oh. Both Estelle and Joshua have leveled up. Joshua has learnt Flicker. And we've got olive oil again from an egg. Doesn't have to make sense, does it? Estelle says, huh? What was that? I could have sworn something moved. Uh-oh. Sheep. Joshua asks, is this an ambush? The sheep have risen up. Hart asks, what are we going to do? Scheherazade says, calm down. We've got you covered. Estelle says, there are monsters at the front and the rear? Alright, then it's time to... Yeah, we charged through the front, because that's what Estelle would do. Estelle says, charge through the front! Scheherazade says, right, good call, Estelle. It could be dangerous if we get split up. Joshua nods, right. Scheherazade says, I'll take care of the monsters in the front. Estelle nods, okay. Sheep. Creepy sheep. 378 HP each, all slightly weak to magic. A dirty, calculating sheep. Beware of its sleep attacks. Okay. Let's get some sheep. Bad touch. Okay. Ow. Bleeding sheep. Shahrazadi's asleep. No, she's not. No, she's not.
All right, we rule.
We really need to find some fire shards from somewhere. We got a leathery tail. Shahrazadi says, "Alright, there's only a few of them left. Don't get careless." Going to heal. Silly loco sheep. See, this is what happens. This is every Kiwi's worst nightmare. The sheep are uprising. You'll see them marching on New Zealand Parliament House. Miss. Miss. Oh, we got him.
Alright, we're good to go.
The sheep uprising has been put down. New Zealand is saved for now. Estelle gasps, "Phew!" Joshua says, "Somehow." Shahrazadi says, "We managed to get them all." Hart says, "Oh man, you guys really saved my hide." Shahrazadi says, "Hey, I told you everything was going to be alright, didn't I?" Hart says, "I can't believe that we came out of this in one non-bloody piece. I gotta say, braces are something else. That was amazing how you took care of those monsters just like that. Estelle laughs. Ha! When it comes to my skill with the staff, it's all over for these monsters. How about I give you a free performance while we're at it? Scheherazade says, Alright, Estelle, unfortunately we'll have to pass, but how about another day? Let's clear out of here quickly. We could be attacked by monsters again if we stay here much longer. Hart says, yes, I'm in favour of leaving. Let's go. I will not be a monster snack. I will not be a monster snack. I will not be a monster snack. Joshua says, come on, Estelle, we're moving out. Estelle sighs, fine. Scheherazade says, the checkpoint is just up ahead, so let's be extra careful until we arrive there. Estelle nods, okay. That was a queen scorpion. Win. Never doubt the power of the burp.
Done already?
He has time-space magic. Why am I not using that? It's... yeah, no. It's fine. It's... yeah. It's non-elemental is where I was going there, I think. Oh, that was quite useful.
Piece of cake.
Once more, olive oil from eggs. There's... Is this a conspiracy by International Olive Oil to prove that, you know, that eggs are good or bad for you, or what? At least the Queen Scorpions don't explode on death. So there is that.
Seems you came up short.
To be honest, I'm not sure why eggs explode on death, though. So yeah, that's a thing.
All right, we're good to go.
And yeah, international olive oil must have something on eggs. Hart says, well, it looks like we finally made it. Estelle sighs, phew, that was a pretty rough climb, huh? Joshua says, well, we can breathe easy now. Scheherazade says, I think your escort from Rouen should be here at any time now. And speak of the devil, look who's here. Melvin says, good work everyone. I'm Junior Bracer Melvin, registered with the Rouen branch. Scheherazade says, good work yourself. This is your client, Mr. Hart. Please make sure he gets to Rouen safely. Elwood nods. Will do. Just follow me, sir. I'll get you where you need to go. I'm your man. Hart says, by Aidos, just how much coffee have you had, young man? But whatever, I'm counting on you to get me where I need to go. Alright, thanks for getting me up here, everyone. Estelle grins. Have a good one. Joshua says, good luck with your work. Hart laughs. Right. I'm already late as it is, but I'll see what I can do. Melvin says, okay, have a good day, fellow bracers. Estelle says, that guy was really over the top energy-wise. Joshua says, he said he was a junior bracer, right? Which means he's a trainee just like us, working out of a branch. Scheherazade says, yep, you're not the only ones. All junior bracers do that. They're working hard to become senior bracers. Estelle says, oh man, it looks like I'm going to have to work harder. Joshua nods, that's right. It wouldn't be right of us to just rely on Shara all the time. Scheherazade laughs. It looks like that bracer stimulated your motivation a bit, didn't he? Let's see now, how about we get back and report to the guild? We have completed the escort request. Do we happen to have... We do, look at that. We can rest. You don't happen to have any shops in here or anything, do you? You know, little touristy thing. Everywhere needs a little shop. Oh well. Back we go to the village that we were originally headed for anyway. Run! Run! It's an egg! It's 2 eggs! Run! Run! It's eggs! Okay, we're gonna move. We're just gonna scatter a bit. Realistically, I should have just ran. But, you know. Ow. Okay, we got this. Yet more olive oil. Maybe it's saying it wants us to make mayonnaise out of it? But I think I prefer the olive oil conspiracy, to be honest. Ooh. No, these are fire, so I can actually heal. Seems they did. Okay, we are heading for Revenue Village. The Revenue Trail. Oh, hello. Estelle gasps, huh? We found Redhead Cloud. Redhead guy says, oh. He continues, Scheherazade, is that you? Well, this is an unlikely place to run into the Silver Streak. Scheherazade says, right back at you. I thought you were in the royal city, but are you here to look into the airliner incident? Red-haired guy says, no, I'm here on some chump errands. But speaking of the incident, I hear it was the work of the Sky Pirates, Sky Bandits, which is legally distinct from Sky Pirates. Still, if you're here on the job, then I guess I don't have to worry about it myself. Good luck to you. Scheherazade asks, is that all you've got to say? I'm sure you've heard that Cassius might have been taken hostage, right? The red-haired guy asks, Cassius Bright, taken hostage? Ha, don't make me laugh. That old man's not going to get beaten by the likes of some Sky Bandits. Anybody saying that is severely mistaken. Scheherazade says, I'd like to believe that too, but... Estelle whispers, I wonder who this guy is. Joshua whispers back, I don't know, but he seems to fit the mould for a bracer. The red-haired guy asks, by the way, who are those brats you've got tagging along with you? They look like a bunch of newbies to me. Scheherazade laughs. Well, then I'm sure you'll be surprised to hear that these brats are Cassius's kids. The red-haired guy says, yeah, that's a surprise, all right. So these are the old man's kids, huh? Hard to believe. He looks them up and down. Estelle asks, why are you looking at us like that? The red-haired guy says, this boy with the black hair is one thing, but the girl really looks like an amateur. Are you sure she's really Cassius's daughter? Estelle growls, you want to try saying that again with my staff in your teeth? Joshua says, she's the bona fide daughter of Cassius Bright, and I have to warn you, her bite is as good as her bark. And I'm just his adopted son. The red-haired guy asks, is that a fact? Oh well, it doesn't really matter. Estelle demands, what do you mean it doesn't matter? The red-haired guy says, well, take it easy, Scheherazade, and be careful not to let these brats drag you down. Scheherazade laughs, yeah, and make sure not to rush into any trouble yourself either. Red-haired Cloud says, I'll keep those words in mind. Estelle demands, what's with that guy? He really pisses me off. Joshua says, I see, so that was Heavy Blade Agate, huh? Estelle asks, Heavy Blade Agate? What a stupid name. Scheherazade says, Agate Krosner, Senior Bracer in the Bracers Guild. He works in all regions and isn't affiliated with any specific branch. His massive blade is said to be capable of slicing a monster in two with a single slash. As soon as he can slash Sephiroth in two, he can say that... I'll just tell you right now, he's one tough customer. Yeah, well, he hasn't had Mako conditioning and... Oh, shut up before I get in trouble. Estelle says, whatever, I don't care how tough he is, he's still a rude jerk. Come to think of it, how does he know Dad anyway? Joshua says, he seems to think highly of Dad's ability, but even so, he didn't seem to like him all that much. Scheherazade says, there are a number of things in his past that I can't go into, and those things are the reason why he feels that way about your father. Estelle says, well, I couldn't care less about someone rude like that. Anyway, let's hurry to Revenue Village. And off we go again. I wonder if we'll see Red-Haired Cloud again. Alright, Chupacabra. You look slightly different to the way you're always portrayed. Anyway, blood-sucking plant from the mountains leeches blood from its prey, weak against fire. So, we need to use Fireball, 230 HP. I'll just move out the way a bit. And use Firebolt from Scheherazade too.
That's that then. Let's move out.
We really need fire set. We need the fire gems, crystals. We need fire crystals. Can get a royal leaf from this thing. Okay.
That's that then. Let's move out.
And we did get a royal leaf. These pillars that are everywhere, just seemingly scattered about. They're a bit too unrandomly scattered about. Oh. I mean, it's a pity that didn't actually help you any.
Oh, are we done already?
And another royal leaf for our collection. We arrive in Revenue Village. At least there's shops here by the looks of it. Estelle says, so this is Revenue Village, huh? This sure is a peaceful place. Look, there's an orchard. Scheherazade says, the village is known for its production of fruit, but it used to have a rich mining history. I've heard there's an old abandoned septium mine to the north of here. Joshua says, you seem to know a lot about the place. Have you been here before? Scheherazade says, yeah, when I was training to become a senior bracer. During that time, I covered the whole kingdom on foot without an airliner. Estelle asked, why? An airliner would have been so much more convenient. Scheherazade says, airliners are certainly convenient, but they only go to the 5 major cities. If you get used to their convenience, your attention won't reach other places. You should first travel on foot and see the places you should protect with your own eyes. It's pretty much the way your father recommended me to go about my training. Estelle asks, Dad really said that? Joshua says, there's certainly the possibility that if an incident occurs at a place you're unfamiliar with, you could end up getting there too late. Also, it would be pretty advantageous to know the geography when chasing a criminal. Scheherazade laughs. That's right. Well, be that as it may, let's see what we can find out about the sighting. Estelle asks, so what do you suggest? Should we go talk to all the villagers? Joshua says, people would be suspicious of us if we did that all of a sudden. I think we should talk to the village elder first and see what he has to say about it. Estelle nods. Okay. Well, first I'll call into the shop here and see what he's got. Hello. Emile says this village is close to the border and was one of the first places to be occupied during the war. There were so many victims back then, and the deep wounds in people's hearts still have yet to heal over. Yeah, that's a bit of a shame. Not really useful at the moment. The Moonlight Path, that would be the inn, I would say. There's chooks everywhere. Maybe they're in on the olive oil conspiracy, so they don't have to lay eggs anymore. I think I've gone out of the village. Alright. So I'm going to guess that this is the... Oh, I don't have to guess, it's right there. Yep, because of course it is. You're the elder, aren't you, dear? Burnett. Burnett says, the heat of flames burning flesh and the charred smell of blackened bones. Well, this is Warhammer 40,000. Amidst the screams and cries of the villagers and their children, very Warhammer 40,000. No matter how many years pass, the terrible events of the war remain ingrained in my mind. Don't worry, the future's not much different, love. Elder Ryson. He says, I haven't seen the likes of you around here before, so tell me, are you here to buy some fruit? Scheherazade says, no, we're not merchants, we're here with the Bracers Guild. So are you the elder of this village? Ryson says, I guess you could say I'm something like that. You don't happen to be one of Agate's companions, do you? Scheherazade says, well, we're all members of the same guild, but we're not companions exactly. We know him by face, and that's probably about it. Ryson says, I see. So he's travelling by himself as usual, huh? The village elder closes his eyes for a moment as a look of sadness passed over his aged features. Estelle stares blankly at him, not knowing quite what he's getting at. She asks, what's wrong, sir? Ryson replies, it's nothing really. Please pardon my expression. Anyway, what brings you to this rural village of ours? Don't tell me that another dangerous monster showed up in the area. Joshua says, no, actually, we're in the middle of an investigation concerning the missing airliner. We came here because we heard there was a report of some kind of sighting. Ryson says, I see. The Royal Army came here and investigated that the other day. However, they searched around the area and ended up leaving empty-handed. Estelle says, really, is that so? Well, what about the person who saw the flying silhouette in the sky? Ryson replied, it was one of the children in the village here, a boy named Louis. He apparently saw some suspicious shadow making its way across the sky on the night of the incident. But he's a kid, any way you think about it, so he may have just imagined the whole thing while he was half asleep. Estelle says, imagined it, huh? Joshua says, I guess the best thing we can do then is ask him directly. Estelle nods, you're probably right about that. Thank you for your time, sir. Ryson says, don't mention it. If there's anything else I can help you with, don't hesitate to ask. Well, apparently you have a quest. Okay, Ryson says, Louis should be here somewhere in the village. The village is rather small, so I'm sure you'll be able to find him without any trouble. Okay, so you want me to deal with Louis first. Okay, that's fine. You just stay there and I'll go find this kid. This is Sparta! Kick! Oh, hello, Louis. Louis says, huh? I haven't seen you guys around here before. Are you merchants here to buy fruit? Estelle says, actually no, we're here for a different reason. As a matter of fact, we're bracers. Louis asks. Braces? You mean like agate? I don't know. You don't look all that strong to me, especially because you're a girl. Estelle sighs. Why don't you tell me how you really feel? But after seeing my great skill with the staff, do you think you can still call me weak? Louis cries out, wow, that's amazing. It's like a tornado. Estelle laughs. Haha, I hope you've learned your lesson that looks can be deceiving. Now, how about another amazing demonstration with my staff? Joshua sighs. Estelle, be careful. Wasn't it just yesterday that you hit yourself in the face doing that? Anyway, are you Louis by chance? Louis nods. Yeah. But how do you know my name? Joshua says, we heard from the village elder. He said you saw some kind of flying shadow. Do you think you could tell us a little bit more about what you saw that night? Louis nods. Sure, if you want. But the soldiers from the army already searched the place and didn't find anything. Joshua says, that's fine. We're not worried about that. Do you think you could just tell us what you saw? In as much detail as you can remember? Louis nods. Okay, I'll try. You see, I like watching the stars at night. So I often sneak out of my house at night to come here and look at the stars. And the other night, when I was out here looking up at the stars, I saw two shadows moving across the sky. Estelle says, now hold on a minute here. You say you saw two shadows. Louis nods. Yeah, that's right. And they were different sizes too, kind of like a mum leading a kid. Estelle says, two shadows, two sizes. Scheherazade says, that's consistent with an airliner and the sky-banded airship, if you think about it. Joshua says, yeah, the aircraft we ran across in the woods was definitely smaller than a typical airliner. Louis says, and the two shadows just kept on flying north, until I couldn't see them anymore. Estelle says, so north is... Scheherazade says, there's a trail that continues behind the village, and it leads to an old septium mine which was abandoned some time ago. Louis says, the soldiers from the army supposedly searched the trail, but didn't come up with anything. That's why they said I must have been dreaming. And then they laughed at me like I didn't know what I was talking about. The little boy's eyes started to well up with tears. Estelle says, hey, enough of that. You're a boy, right? And boys don't cry. We're not like those stupid soldiers. We don't think you're telling a lie either, and we're going to prove it. Louis asks, really? Estelle nods. Darn straight, you just leave it to us. So no more crying, okay? Louis says, okay. You're a real nice person. Scheherazade whispers, as usual, she's got a knack with the kids. Joshua whispers back, yeah, maybe it's a virtue. Estelle asks, why are you looking at me like that? Joshua says, it's nothing. Let's focus on the task at hand. It looks like we've got stuff to do. Estelle nods. Right. Let's hurry and get onto the trail behind the village and see what we can find. Okay, we need to... pay some ungodly amount of money to sleep in this village, no doubt. Oh, Apple. Apple says, when it becomes the right season, people can come and experience picking fresh fruit from the trees. Estelle asks, can you hear that? Did you hear that, Joshua? We can come here and pick fruit. Can we come here again sometime so we can gorge ourselves on all the good stuff around here? Joshua sighs. I should have figured you'd say something like that, Estelle. Anyway, I think it's a little early for that. Apple says, yeah, that's right. It'll still be another several months before the fruit is ripe. Estelle sighs. Why do you have to go and say something like that? I got all excited for nothing. Well, let's at least come back again when it's picking season, okay? And when we don't have a job to do. Joshua says, whatever you say, Estelle. Didn't you say the same thing about shopping in Beausset? Apple laughs. Let's take a rest, shall we? Let's sell that many of those. Then rest. 460 monies. Isn't there supposed to be a shop or something in here? Ah, here we go. Lemon says, I wonder if I should increase the number of dishes that use fruit in them. I'll have to discuss this with Apple later. What do you have? Apple ice cream, which heals 300 HP, and fresh juice, which heals 300 HP and cures petrify. So I think we'll take both of those. And because we're here, we're going to learn both of these recipes. Then see if we can buy some of the stuff for them. So I'm going to take 10 apples, 10 oranges, should take 20 apples, 20 fresh eggs. Gee, I wish eggs were that cheap. I wish eggs were that cheap right now. And yes, that probably does more for dating this video than anything else. But yes, away to the north we go. We're off to the north. We run away back to where I went out earlier. Actually, let's see if His Holiness is ready to give us that free reign on that quest yet. Ryson says, the silhouette that Louis saw flying in the sky, I wonder if it could have been him. No, it couldn't be. It's been decades since anyone last saw him. Okay, well, he's not about to give us the Brace's job. Oh. West. Revenue mine. 140 yards. Okay. Could have been worse. Bind whip. Really? Okay, fine. You want it the hot way, we'll give it to you the hot way. I like how the portraits change as well when I go through the various stages of, oh, I'm dying. Why are you not doing something to stop me from dying?
Alright, we're good to go.
A lot of rocks around. A lot of rocks around.
Seems you came up short.
Two leaves. We found a tear bomb. The chest is empty, but it wouldn't be empty if you put something in it. Whoa, deep man. The light blew my mind. Oh, hello. Gee, that's a lot of tentacles. These are roly-polies. They have 222 HP. 222 HP. We can get a leathery tail and a curative horn from it, and a multi-legged arthropod that spews poisonous gas. The gas it ejects has a range of effects. Slightly weak to fire. Scenty stench. Okay. Ow! I mean, I know she's your sister, but jeez.
Oh, are we done already?
That looks like I am a very dangerous chest. We found Deathblow 2. Reduced to searching empty chests. That's really sad. Wow. The world needs more psychologists. Right, let's actually see what that is. %, kills enemy, but quartz breaks. Probably not what we want then. Not if you're just going to be... Yeah. I really hope we can get some new materia soon. Sorry, not materia, not materia. The S thing.
Alright, we're good to go.
We've got a royal leaf.
Let's do this!
Oh, got him, yes.
Someone's been naughty.
Here I come! Piece of cake!
We found a beast steak. Nope, still empty. Got to admit, all of these sassy little comments left inside chests are an interesting addition. I wonder how they came up with the idea.
Oh, are we done already?
Guess we're going to the mine then.
Oh, are we done already?
Definitely need more of those fires, and I keep saying it, but they just do not move. There are none around.
Oh, are we done already?
May as well see if time-space has any effect.
We're good to go.
Two royal leaves, if we ever find out what they go in. Thin birds. Those are some seriously long eyebrows. And Scheherazade has made it to level 14. And we've got some bird eggs. Tear bomb. I am Error. Bzzz. I am Urshin. Sorry. I swear I'm not doing voices again. And it's not like we're over or under leveled for it, because as soon as Scheherazade went up the level, she started getting less EXP. So we are where we should be, but yeah, we could stand to be more powerful. Revenue mine. Should we hide behind here in case the judges come looking for magicite? This gate is secured with a heavy chain and padlock. Joshua says, this looks like the entrance to an abandoned mine. Estelle says, It kind of reminds me of the Mulga mine, except for the fact that it's all deserted. Scheherazade says it seems that this place was abandoned quite some time ago. The padlock and chain are rusted. It doesn't look like this gate has been opened recently. Joshua says, which means that there's no possibility that the Sky Bandits entered through here. I wonder if that's why the army never investigated the place. Estelle sighs. You're probably not going to find any clues searching around in an old mine, that's for sure. Scheherazade asks, what's wrong, Estelle? Estelle says, maybe it's just me, but do you feel any air flowing out of here? Scheherazade asks, when you say out of here, do you mean the mine? Estelle nods, yeah, that's right. Joshua says, let's see. Joshua wet the tip of his index finger with his tongue and held it out. Joshua says, you're right, Estelle. It's rather subtle, but there is air flowing out of here. Estelle says, just like I thought, huh? Scheherazade says, sometimes your senses can be surprisingly sharp, you know that? I wonder if you get that from your father. Estelle grumbles, my dad doesn't have anything to do with it. But forget about that. Aren't you more interested in what's inside this old mine? Joshua says, there's certainly a possibility that it connects to somewhere. It's probably worth checking out. Estelle says, well, in that case, let's bust this lock off. Scheherazade says, hey, don't you even think about doing that. For now, we'd better head back to the village and talk with the elder. He might have the key. Or perhaps we could look behind all those logs that are standing up over there. Estelle frowns. You're no fun, Shara. I mean, it looks like there's something behind these logs. Oh well. Back to the elder. At least it'll give us a chance to spend 60 monies and sleep again. Get back our MP. Ow! Please don't.
We're good to go.
I do sort of wonder where red-haired Cloud went. And Discount Edward.
Seems you came up short.
Got a leathery tail and a curative horn. Yeah, we'll be right back, so we're just partaking. Oh, your hospitality. Oi. Mrs. Warhammer 40,000, where's the old dude gone? Burnett says, are you looking for my husband? Since it's this time of day, I'm sure he's up at the gravesite on the hill. Oh well. And where would the grave... Oh, this would probably be the gravesite on the hill with all the graves on it. Estelle says, so this is where you are, Elder Ryson. Ryson says, oh, it's you young braces, is it? Scheherazade says, well, this is a rather extravagant grave for a small village like this, isn't it? Ryson replies, it was erected to mourn all those souls we lost 10 years ago. Since the Beausset region is nearest to the Empire, it was in the thick of the fray, and this village lost a number of good people in the hostilities. Estelle says, that's terrible. Ryson replies, there's no need for you to get somber too, though. These days, cleaning this monument is just one of my daily routines. But I guess you wouldn't have come up here if you didn't think that there was something I could help you with, right? Estelle says, oh right, there was something we wanted to talk to you about. But before that, Scheherazade asks, would you mind if we paid our respects as well? Joshua says, I know we don't have any flowers to give, but we'd at least like to offer up a prayer. Ryson says, oh, I see. No, of course I don't mind. I'm sure all those looking down from above would be overjoyed by the gesture. And now we're back inside. Ryson says, so you say that there might be some clues in that old mine, huh? I know for certain that the soldiers didn't check inside. Estelle says, after I heard Louis' story, it really got me thinking. We'd like to check the place out just in case, so would you mind lending us the key to the entrance? Ryson said, the key for that padlock, huh? Just give me a minute here. I'm sure I put it in this drawer. All right, here it is. Okay, this should get you inside. We received the abandoned mine key. Estelle says, wow, this key looks ancient. Many thanks, Elder Ryson. Joshua says, this will really help a lot. Ryson says, don't mention it. We're always indebted to the Bracers Guild for their help. It's only natural that we would try and return the favour. Scheherazade says, thank you. If everyone we dealt with were as cooperative as you, it would make our lives a lot easier. Joshua says, we'll be sure to let you know if we find anything. Ryson says, I would appreciate that. Burnett says, when the mine was in use, the village enjoyed a period of economic growth. In fact, this place was so lively with miners and merchants that you could have almost called it a small city instead of a town. However, following the war, this place became quite lonely. And then a ninja girl decided to go out and steal materia to help the war effort. Going to try to avoid... I was saying I was going to try to avoid getting into any fights to save the MP for the actual mine. But here we are. cautionary tale and a curative fawn. Go us. The gate is secured with a heavy chain and padlock. Estelle says, let's use this key we borrowed from the village elder. We used the abandoned mine key. Phew, says Estelle, that was one heavy gate. Joshua says, let's have a look inside, shall we? Scheherazade says, I don't know about sky pirates, but I can definitely sense monsters in here. Everyone stay alert. More crabs! More crabs! Ow! The murder crab. Weak to all magic. Weakish to all magic. A crustacean monster living underground, weak against odds. May call for backup.
Alright, we're good to go.
Wow, okay. Right, you. Ow. Oh, of course you called for backup. Just when we're about to wipe you out. Come on! How much more backup can you call? Wow, okay. Try a stone hammer.
Alright, we rule!
Got a serious infestation of crabs. Monster carapace. And tear Estelle. And fireball that one.
Seems you came up short.
I'm guessing we're not going over that bridge. Yeah, no, we're not going over that bridge. 嗯。 That's probably a workplace health and safety issue. Oh, these crabs just crab people, crab people. Six with a critical.
That's that then. Let's move out.
Monster carapace hit again. See, that would be where I thought we would come in. Tier 4 shares on here. Hopefully this puts him down, and it does. Look at that.
All right, we're good to go.
nasty old monster carapace. And we can't go over from that side either. So we must go deeper. Oh, come on. Called for backup. Put him down. Thank you.
Alright, we're good to go.
Monster carapace. Do. Estelle says, man, it's bright in here. Huh? Isn't that the... Joshua whispers, quiet, Estelle. Scheherazade whispers, it looks like we've hit the jackpot. Kyle says, forget about the heavy things and focus on the food provisions and valuables. And hurry it up, will ya? It's only a matter of time before someone finds this place. The Sky Bandits all say, yes, Kyle. Estelle whispers, what's an airliner doing in a place like this? I guess that kid wasn't seeing things after all. Scheherazade whispers, this looks like an area that used to be used for strip mining. It certainly turned out to be a great place to hide something of this size. Joshua whispers, yeah, who would have thought to look here? Look at that, aren't they loading the airline cargo into their own ship? Estelle whispers, let's worry about that later. We've got to figure out a way to bag these guys before they get away again. Kyle says, so this is our third trip, huh? Man, Don could be a real slave driver sometimes. Oh well, once this is all taken care of, we'll be able to sit back and negotiate a nice fat ransom. Estelle says, hold it right there. Kyle asks, who in the... Estelle says, the scorching flames of justice shall never fade away as long as evil thrives in this world. The League of Extraordinary Braces has arrived. Huh? Joshua asks, the League of what? Scheherazade sighs, you bonehead, why do you always get carried away like that? Estelle asks, what's with you two? Now I look like a big fool saying that stuff all alone. Kyle says, you're the ones who Josette had the run-in with back in Relent. This can't be right, you're not supposed to be here this early. Estelle grumbles, it can't be right, we're not supposed to be here this early. What the heck are you talking about? Scheherazade says, in accordance with the laws of the Bracers Guild, you are hereby under arrest and charged with the hijacking of an airliner and its passengers. I hope for your sakes you'll come along quietly. Kyle says, now hold on just a minute. Are you trying to tell me that only the three of you came here to arrest us? Estelle asks, you see anyone else, bandit boy? Kyle says, so you're not involved with the others then, huh? Then that simplifies things. Let's get 'em, boys. Okay, so we have Kyle with 777 HP. Slightly weak to all elements, he's the number 2 man of the Capua household. His smoke bombs are blinding and he's quite agile. Lucky we had the limit breaks to save us, I think.
Someone's been naughty.
Here I come!
There's the fire ones. Ow! Do you mind? Poison seal bind. We've got floral jelly on our recipe list now. Heal Scheherazade. Ow. 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 Yay, more reds. He missed. Dear. I think we got him. We got him. We got him. Just.
That's that guy. Let's move out.
That was too close. Estelle and Joshua both leveled up. And we finally got some red crystals. Kyle says, ow, you guys are tougher than I thought. It's no wonder Josette got beat up by you three. Estelle grins. Sweet talk won't get you anywhere, buddy. It's time to surrender and let the passengers go. Kyle laughs. You really don't know anything, do you? What was that you called yourselves? League of the Exceptionally Dim or something? Estelle growls. You're making fun of my awesome team name? You're dead. Joshua cries out, look out! Estelle asks, what is this? Scheherazade says, you've got to be kidding me. Another smoke screen? Kyle laughs. Imagine evil laughter. It's too bad about the rest of the cargo, but we'll just have to live without it. Later, braces. Estelle coughs herself up along. Ow, 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 some of it got in my eyes. Joshua says, don't worry, it's not poisonous. It looks like it was a typical smoke canister. Scheherazade says, their ship is already out of sight. This is getting really old. It's not once, but twice now that they've gotten away. If I get demoted for this at the guild, there's not much I can say in my own defense. Estelle says, oh, Shara, quit acting like it was all your fault. Joshua says, we're responsible for letting them get away too. If we've got time to kick ourselves over this, then there's got to be some other constructive things we can do. Scheherazade says, well, you sound like you should be the senior bracer. Well, at least we were able to take back the airliner, so how about we have a look? The passengers may be inside. Estelle nods. Right. And we're aboard the airliner Linda. Estelle says, wow, it's pretty bare in here. There's not a piece of cargo left. Joshua says, evidently the Sky Pirates managed to make off with it all. At least, judging by the looks of things. Scheherazade says, at any rate, we should do a thorough investigation of the place. Estelle says, here's a lift car. Joshua says it looks like the same type as those at the landing port. The Sky Pirates probably used this to move the cargo. Estelle says, I wonder what this is. Scheherazade says, it's the orbital engine control panel. It looks like the flow of orbital energy is completely stopped. I mean, I did see a... Or was I just imagining things there? Must have been imagining things. Oh, hello, we're on the bridge. Estelle says, it looks like this is the captain's seat. If these were any other circumstances, I would love to sit here. Joshua says, don't even think about it. Estelle says, here's the steering wheel used to pilot the ship. I wonder where the pilot would have gone. Estelle says, it's bright in here. There's a lot of light shining into this place. Estelle says, this poor potted plant doesn't look like it's going to make it. Bunch of plant murderers. Joshua says, it probably hasn't been watered for days. Okay, so nothing there. And nothing here by the looks of it either. Estelle says, we checked it over, but it looks like there's nobody inside. Joshua says there's a high possibility the passengers were transferred to the Sky Pirates airship, and then to wherever their hideout is. Estelle says, agreed. But this sucks. Right when I thought we had some clues, we're back to zero. Scheherazade says, come on, cheer up already. It's not like every clue has completely vanished. Why do you think the Sky Pirates hid the airliner in a place like this? Estelle asks, huh? Scheherazade says, as far as I can tell, the orbital energy in the ship is completely stopped, which means that the orbital engine was stripped from the aircraft. I know this because the orbital energy in an orbment gradually recharges over time. Furthermore, the Sky Pirates made multiple trips to carry off a large amount of cargo. Considering the time and risk involved, don't you think it would have been more effective just to take the entire airliner to their hideout? Estelle says, yeah, that does seem a little odd that they didn't. So why'd they hide the airliner here then? All I can think of is that they did it in order to... let's see. I would have to say ditch the Linda because their hideout is somewhere weird. Scheherazade says, yes, that's exactly right. Yay, we got it right. Scheherazade continues, from my guess, I would imagine that their hideout is in a slightly peculiar place, maybe 10 to 15 arg in size. In short, a peculiar place on which only a small aircraft like the Sky Bandit's airship could land. Estelle says, interesting. Joshua asks, how about terrain covered with extreme differences in height, like mountains and ravines? That seems like a likely place for the Sky Pirates' hideout. Scheherazade says, yes, that's what I've been thinking too. However, if that's the case, then we may be unable to do anything else. There's the possibility that their hideout may be in a place we can't reach by foot. Estelle asks, then what can we do? Scheherazade says, well, I hate to say it, but we may have to share our conclusions with the army and ask for their cooperation, because they're the ones with the patrol ships. Estelle says, what? Now you're trying to tell us we should go crawling back to the army and ask them for help? Joshua says, either way, we still have to report to them about the airliner. Personally speaking, I still think we should cooperate with the army, whatever their attitude may be, especially if that means bringing the hostages back safe and sound. Estelle sighs, I guess you're right. This isn't the time or place to be letting my personal feelings get the best of me. Scheherazade says, for the time being, let's get back to the guild and report our findings to Lugran. We should be able to contact the Harken Gate if we use the Orbital telephone. Can we not just leap over the edge? Oh. Hello. Estelle says, huh? What the heck? Joshua says, great. Now this was something I did not expect. Scheherazade says, I wonder if we should be glad since they've saved us the trouble of having to contact them. The Royal Army officer says, I found a suspicious armed group. Put your hands in the air, all of you. Another soldier says, what is this world coming to? A woman and 2 kids are the Sky Pirates, though the girl does look shifty. Estelle says, hey, that's just rude. And who are you calling Sky Pirates? Can't you see this shiny emblem on my chest? Old man's voice. The bracer emblem, huh? I hope you don't think for a moment something like that proves your innocence. Estelle gasps, General Morgan? Joshua asks, why are you here? General Morgan says, after looking over the reports of my men, I found this place to have been insufficiently investigated, so I came to see for myself. Who would have thought the lot of you were conspiring with the Sky Pirates? Scheherazade asks, might I get you to stop with the accusations, General? We happened to find this place one step ahead of your men. General Morgan asks, if that's the truth, then why don't you tell me where the Sky Pirates are? Are the hostages inside the airliner? Joshua says, we almost had the Sky Pirates, but they managed to escape, and there are no hostages to be found here. General Morgan says, it looks like the truth has come out. Most likely you notified the Sky Pirates to let them know we were coming. Estelle cries, hey, wait a minute here. How about you cut with the crap? General Morgan bellows, my thoughts exactly. All right, men, take them into custody. We are now in prison. A Royal Army soldier says the General himself will be questioning you on the morrow. If your innocence is proven, then you will be released in 2 or 3 days. So for the time being, this cell will give you a place to cool your heels. Estelle sighs. This is not even funny. Tossing us in a place like this without even listening to a word we have to say. Joshua says, if the army managed to arrest the Sky Pirates, then I'm sure we'd have our names cleared. But with the way things are at the moment, that may not be possible. Estelle asks, why not? Joshua says, you remember what the Sky Pirate leader we fought at the old mines said, right? He said, this can't be right. You're not supposed to be here this early, if I remember correctly. Estelle says, now that you mention it, he did say that, didn't he? You're not trying to tell me that he meant the army by that, are you? Joshua says, I don't know for sure, but I would bet that's what he meant. Which means that Scheherazade says, Sky Bandits have a mole in the army, or a collaborator who is leaking information. That's what you wanted to say, isn't it, Joshua? Joshua nods. Yeah. Estelle pouts. Well, if that's the case, they'll never get caught, which means we were the only ones that stood a chance of nabbing them. Scheherazade adds, but now we're stuck in here. I wonder how your father would get around this little setback. A man's voice says, my. Well, don't you all seem to be in a bit of a fix? Estelle asks, did you just say something, Joshua? Joshua says, no, I didn't say anything. Scheherazade says, it came from the cell next door. It almost sounds familiar. The man's voice says, oh, how could you say something so heartless? My lustrous voice should be recognizable to anyone. Estelle says, could this unfounded self-confidence, Joshua says, and tone of absurd narcissism belong to... Scheherazade adds, it's you, isn't it, Olivier? The man's voice says, you do remember my dulcet chords. To think that we'd meet again in a place like this. It seems that we're bound by destiny. Estelle asks, why are you here? I thought we took you to Beausset. Scheherazade says, and now you're locked up in a place like this? What the heck did you do? Olivier says, come now, let's not worry about all the little details, shall we? I have my reasons, which are deeper than the deepest ocean and higher than the highest peak. Estelle mutters, I'm definitely not asking now. I'm sure we just get tired while he talked our ears off. Joshua says, what a coincidence, Estelle. I was just thinking the same thing. Scheherazade says, so there you have it. We don't really care to know. You talk so much that I'd probably be an old woman by the time you're done, and I'm not ready for wrinkles yet. Olivier laughs. Oh, come on now, let's not be like that. I'll fill you in on all the details of the tragic incident which befell me. Estelle whispers, didn't you listen, dummy? We don't want to hear about it. Olivier says, it all began after we parted ways. I did some window shopping in the Beausset market and then moved on to the Anti-Rose restaurant. You see, once I'd eaten to my heart's content, I began to play the grand piano to then feed my artistic soul. And upon doing so, the restaurant manager was overcome by my skill, so I was asked to stay and work as the professional pianist for the restaurant. Estelle mumbles, that's great and all, but I thought you were supposed to be a lutist. Olivier laughs, ha! The musical genius is not limited to just one instrument. Anyway, back to my story. After negotiating a few of my own conditions, I accepted the job offer. Those conditions were, of course, food and wine for free every day instead of Mira. Joshua says, I don't know how to put it, but that's very you, Olivier. Yet I'm not sure how that has anything to do with you getting thrown in jail. Olivier continues, oh, well, this is where the real sob story begins. That night I had been enjoying a plate of sautéed duck I'd just had the chef prepare, but the blood sauce which had been used was a little too overbearing for my palate. Consequently, I began to feel that normal red wine was not satisfying enough. Estelle grumbles, the more you talk, the more I want to hit you. But go on, I'm curious in spite of knowing better. Olivier thus continues, well, so I borrowed a bottle of wine which seemed good from the cellar, something called Grand Chardonnay from the year 1183. Scheherazade says, Grand Chardonnay from the year 1183? That's the legendary vintage wine that was auctioned off in the royal city. Olivier says, oh, aren't you well informed? I heard a rumour about it too, so of course I was interested in having a drink for myself. Estelle says, auctioned off? How much are we talking about here? Scheherazade replies, from what I heard, it went for somewhere in the neighbourhood of 500,000 Mira. Estelle gasps, 500,000 Mira? For just one bottle? Joshua sighs, that's out of this world. And you didn't, did you, Olivier? Olivier laughs. Such a needless question. Of course I opened the bottle and had a sip. Its sweet-smelling fragrance tickled my nostrils. Its luxurious mellow taste caressed my throat. And can you believe what else? A rose-tinted vignette of time and space existed within that very bottle. Estelle sighs. I don't think I can listen to this any longer. Joshua agrees. Yeah, my ears are bleeding from listening to such stupidity. Scheherazade nods. I'm completely dumbfounded. Olivier says, the sad thing is that after taking a sip of such excellent wine, I began to feel the food was lacking. And as I was having the chef cook me up something else to match the wine, the restaurant manager returned. Since I'm not a stingy fellow, I cordially invited him to join me for a drink. But for some odd reason he got rather upset. In fact, he got so steaming mad that his face looked like a ripe tomato. And before I could say another word, a group of soldiers came filing in. And well, one thing led to another, and I can't say another word about this tragedy of being dragged all the way here without coming to tears. So let us all weep together as you sympathize with my dilemma. Estelle is asleep. Joshua is also asleep. Scheherazade is also asleep and just mutters the word idiot. Olivier says, pardon? But do mine ears deceive me? I could have sworn I heard someone snoring, and even more assuredly misheard someone calling me Baka from your cell. Are you listening? This is where the story gets really interesting. You see, several further trials awaited me after I was brought here. Hello? Are you listening? Nope, we are asleep. The Royal Army soldier says, hey, you three, get up. Estelle's still busy snoring. I'm tired. Joshua asks, what's wrong? Scheherazade asks, what Are you trying to tell us we're being interrogated this early in the morning? That's a little early even for me. The soldier says, no, it's just the opposite. You're being released. Estelle asks, what? Estelle asks, why all of a sudden? Joshua asks, is there a reason for this? A woman's voice says, yes, I'd like to consider myself that reason. Estelle says, Mayor Maybelle? Scheherazade says, well, what an unusual place to be meeting you. Maybelle says, I'm really sorry about everything that's happened to you, but don't worry, your names have been cleared. General Morgan harumphs. I don't completely agree with everything, but this is a request coming from Maybelle herself. You'd better remember to thank her. Estelle says, so you mean Mayor Maybelle stood up on our behalf? Maybelle says, no, that's not exactly it. I just explained your situation to General Morgan. Estelle asks, our situation? General Morgan says, yes, I have one question for the both of you. Are you really the children of Cassius Bright? Estelle says, Joshua nods. Yes, that's right. This is Estelle Bright, and I'm his adopted son, Joshua. General Morgan says, I see. Now that you mention it, the girl does slightly resemble Lena. Estelle asks, you knew my mother? General Morgan says, yes, I enjoyed your mother's cooking on several occasions when I visited your home in Relent. Why, in fact, we even met once when you were just a baby. Estelle says, now wait just a minute. You're a personal acquaintance of my dad's? I knew that he was in the military before, but... General Morgan harumphs again. I don't know Cassius Bright the Bracer. The only Cassius I know is the one from the service. He was a rare strategist. Estelle asks, strategist? Dad? General Morgan says, I just can't imagine what he saw in the Bracers Guild. It makes me angry just thinking about it. You'll have to excuse me. Estelle asks, what's wrong with him? Maybelle laughs. It seems like your father was a brilliant officer in the military. I'd heard from the general that he tried several times to get your father to change his mind about retiring. Estelle says, I didn't know that. Somehow it feels hard to believe. Scheherazade says, however, if that's the case, the general's hatred for Bracers may stem from Cassius leaving the army, from the vexation of being left by one of his most promising men. Joshua says, I get the same impression. Estelle grumbles, so what you're saying is our lives are such a pain because of Dad? That dirty rotten scoundrel? Maybelle laughs. How about we return to Beausset now? With the airliner being found, the situation has taken a new turn, so there are a number of things I'd like to discuss with you. Estelle says, oh, sure. Maybelle asks, is something the matter? Estelle says, I'm definitely ready to get out of here, but it feels like we're forgetting something. Joshua says, now that you mention it. Scheherazade asks, what could it be? The man's voice says, oh, how callous people can be at times. Olivier asks, How could you forget about a companion who spent the night with you in a cold, hard cell? How lamentable, how pitiful. Fine, be that way. I shall wither away, friendless and hungry, alone in this dark purgatory. Estelle asks, is he still here? Scheherazade says, yeah, I completely forgot about him. Joshua says, I'm sorry to say this, but there's not much we can do for you. Maybelle asks, is he the musician I heard about? The one who chugged that bottle of Grand Chardonnay without a second thought? Olivier says, ha, indeed, that is I. Yet, my fair lass, I would be heartbroken if you took my intentions the wrong way. For you see, I perceived it as an advance payment for the exquisite services that I was about to render. Maybelle laughs. You're quite the interesting character. All right, I'll see what I can do to bargain with the General for your release. Olivier asks, really, truly, you would do such a kind service for a man such as myself? Estelle says, I think that may be asking a bit much. Scheherazade says, if the restaurant takes this to a trial, there's going to be at least a lawsuit. Maybelle laughs. Well, there's no need to worry about that. You see, the owner of the restaurant is me. Estelle says, huh? Maybelle says, and that Grand Chardonnay was the very one I bid on. That being the case, I'm fairly confident there won't be any other problems over the matter. And we've moved to the mayor's residence. Estelle says, I can't believe you were released. Scheherazade says, it's like a stroke of bad luck. Olivier laughs. Please don't lay on the compliments so thick. However, it pains my soul that I partook of such a fine wine without paying a single lira. Shall I play the piano in the restaurant per our contract to remedy that? Maybelle says, I think I'm going to have to pass on that. After what happened, I think it would be a bit awkward having you back there. Estelle whispers, I for one don't think he'd mind a bit. Joshua whispers back, yeah, he sure does seem to have some thick skin. Maybelle says, let's just think of this as an unfortunate incident for the both of us. Olivier says, but I don't think I can just let things go like this. Let's see. It seems that you're investigating something at the moment, right? How about I lend my assistance in return for the wine? Estelle says, huh? Maybelle says, well, that does sound interesting. Could I ask you to join these braces in their work? Olivier says, could you ever? So it's settled. Let our new working relationship bloom like a magnolia at the height of spring. Estelle pouts. Hang on a sec. What did we do to deserve this? Scheherazade says, your general weirdness aside, simply having an amateur like you around is honestly going to be a pain. Are you confident that you won't be a drag on our work or our sanity? Olivier says, well, I'm somewhat confident in my marksmanship and magic. But of course, I'd be distressed if you tried to list my music genius in the same group. Estelle sighs, that's the kind of line that gets me really worried. Joshua says, but maybe we could use an extra hand. As long as we can't count on the army to help us out, I have the feeling that we'll be short on manpower. Scheherazade sighs to herself. Well, all right then. We'll use you for what you're worth. However, if we do happen to conclude that you're not worth your weight, you're dumped from the party. Are you going to be okay with that? Olivier laughs. Of course I don't mind. I'd never let you down, so please be reassured. Estelle says, well, my expectations of you are pretty much at rock bottom anyway, so I know you won't let me down. Maybelle laughs. I'm glad things are settled between you all, but before you go, there's something I need to tell you. Estelle asks, tell us? Scheherazade says, actually the town did seem pretty noisy as we were headed here. What happened? Maybelle says, truth be told, last night there was a large-scale burglary in Beausay's South Block. The weapon shop and Orbital factory were targeted, as were a number of private residences. What? Gasps Estelle. Joshua says, so was this the work of the Sky Pirates? Maybelle replies, it's unknown at this time, but it seems highly probable. A unit of the Royal Army is currently conducting an investigation. Scheherazade says, I see. Guess we'd better do an investigation of our own then. Maybelle says, yes, I'd like to formally request that you do just that. I'll send a payment over to the Guild for the work that you've done so far. Please make use of the money for your current investigation expenses. Estelle says, now that we are down in the atrium again, I have a feeling that the army is going to get in our way again. But I guess when that happens, it happens. Joshua says, whether they get in our way or not, I don't think we should be forthcoming with the army about any information we come across, because if there's really a spy in their midst, they'll just leak it to the Sky Pirates. Scheherazade says, though I'm reluctant to say it, I also think it's for the best to keep quiet about our findings. Anyway, let's act with prudence. Olivier says, all righty, my bosom companions, shall we head to the South Block? Estelle snaps, look, buddy, who made you king of the show? Okay. No, that's not what I want. Let's hand in at the Bracers Guild. Of course we... got a stolen ring. The client is Lorna. We pays 2,000 monies, and the difficulty is low. I was burglarized the other day, and my jeweled ring was found to be among the missing items. It's quite valuable to me, so if anyone happens to find it, please let me know. I live on Beausay's South Block. Right. Let's report. Legrand says, we've received payment from Mayor Maybelle for your investigative efforts thus far. We've received payment for the missing airliner. We got 6,000 monies and gained 5 BP. Our current rank is Junior Bracer 7th class. Legrand says, keep up the good work and be careful out there. We have reported the results for the escort quest. We got 1,000 monies and 4 BP. And for the West Beausay monster, we got 1,200 monies and 4 BP again. And we are still Junior Bracer 7th class. Legrand says exactly the same thing. Come back again if we have anything else to report. Okay. Right. Well, if I've done this right, this 3-hour monster is releasing on Christmas Day, 2025. So, if you have made it this far, I hope you and your family have a very Merry Christmas, or whatever you celebrate at this time of year. It hasn't been the greatest December or year as a whole, but there have been worse, and there will be better. So please, take some time, spend it with your family, and be glad that you're all together, and all safe, and all happy. If you've made it this far, thank you very much for watching, We hope you have a wonderful Christmas day, and we will see you tomorrow for the next episode.